Well, I want to thank everyone for coming here, for the invitation. And it's a very long journey that brought me to this place today. And that journey took me a lot of places. Like you said, I was born in Chicago, raised in upstate New York, and then I lived on the island of Puerto Rico for 11 years. So I went from English only to Spanish only. But in the process, I learned a lot about working with multiple cultures and multiple languages. So when I came back to the United States through the Air Force, I wound up here in California. And I had that experience with me, and that experience in overcoming adversity, overcoming barriers of language, and understanding how other people think, coming from different cultures, it really informed me a lot when I became a deputy sheriff back in '86. And on the political side of the world, I first ran for office in 1992 in San Dimas. And I only ran because of a local issue about land use, about destroying the old San Dimas and paving it over for new development. And I thought we should preserve San Dimas the way it was. And I ran against a 3-term incumbent. I lost by 44 votes. No one knew who I was. I knocked on every door in San Dimas, and I scared the bejesus out of the political establishment because they didn't expect it would be that close. For someone who had no experience whatsoever. And at the time, I was only 29. And then, fast forward to 2015, I'm living not too far from here, La Habra Heights, another local issue. An oil company wanted to start fracking in La Habra Heights. They wanted to do this 400 yards from my front door, because there's oil properties throughout the city of La Habra Heights. And I thought that's a bad idea. And some of my friends had already started a ballot measure to ban fracking in the Heights. They wanted my signature, and then one of them said, hey, we should run some candidates for the city council. And let's get a anti-fracking majority on the city council. There's only one guy who was against fracking. The other 4 were for fracking. So I said, okay, I'll do it. My wife said, yeah, let's do it. We're here, it's gonna affect us. We should have a voice. And that's the whole thing about the entire democratic process, is have a voice. So we ran, again, totally unknown. I lost by 19 votes. I was getting closer, but still wasn't there yet. So by this time, I'm getting close to retirement now. This is 2017. June of 2017, my wife and I are deciding, well, we're gonna retire in February 2018. Which way should we do it? Do we go out in a bang and have our voice heard, or we go out in a whimper? So she said, let's do this. So I said, I'm gonna run for sheriff. And what was the reaction of the political establishment? It was, who are you? No one knew me. I had very little voice. Even when I announced it, the Times reporter said there was more ducks in the park than there were supporters, which is a true statement. I think there was about 6 supporters and there was about 50 ducks. Then, over the months of the campaign, we had our message, reform, rebuild, restore. We kept repeating that message over and over again and explaining what it meant, which is getting the department to work for the community, with the community, and become part of the community. And that was a huge difference from the status quo. The part where everybody doesn't trust law enforcement, where it seems like something out of our lives that's really not a part of us. And people understood that. And all of a sudden, people started communicating group to group, big meetings to big meetings, and that little voice, reform, rebuild, restore, kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But still, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the name, and within the organization, the old political establishment, they literally said, who the hell are you? Who do you think you are? How dare you think that you can become sheriff? I said, okay, this is democracy, this is the United States of America. Let's find out. So I wasn't deterred by that. We kept moving forward. Comes the primary, all of a sudden I got 33% of the vote. And now I got a lot of votes. I didn't lose by 19, I was in 2nd place. So I improved, I moved up to 2nd place. But we still, the Times said, he has no chance. He can never defeat the incumbent. The incumbent is all wonderful, all everything, But I knew within the organization, no, that was not the case. He did not have the support of the line staff. The people that serve your communities each and every day, they no longer had trust. Still, we didn't have the money, we didn't have the name, but we kept chugging on like the little train that could. Went to the debate, my opponent didn't want to go to the debates. We kept pressing the issue. And come election, 4:40 in the morning, the day after the election, we found out when they went from 99% to the 100%, the very last reporting period, we went ahead by 4,700 votes. When it was all said and done, we got 1.3 million votes, and our margin of victory was 141,000. So the third try sometimes is the one that counts, so we got it on the third try. And what does that mean for this community? What does that mean for the Chinese community, the Asian community, the San Gabriel Valley? It means that every vote counts, every voice counts. The department belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me, doesn't belong to anybody wearing tan and green. It's your sheriff's department. The department is part of the community is part of the department. And my goal is to convince you that your sons and daughters have a career in law enforcement if they want so, and there's no better place than the sheriff's department. We need to hire you. I want to hire locally. I said that everywhere throughout the campaign trail. If you grow up in Compton, I want you to serve the community of Compton. If you grow up in Rosemead, I'd like you to serve the city of Rosemead, and so forth. And that is how we build a strong relationship between the community. That's how we lower crime. That's how we work together. We have Chinese, we have Mandarin speakers, Cantonese, we have a lot of different native language speakers that are now deputies. I want 10 times as many. There's not enough. If you call 911 right now, we can connect you directly to someone who speaks Mandarin or Cantonese. We already have the 911 system set up where we can switch to any language the person who is speaking. Just takes a couple of clicks on the dispatcher's console and you're speaking to someone who's a native speaker. So you can definitely contact us in times of emergency. And we want to have that good working relationship. We have the 3 station captains here in the area that's very important to us. Captain White, Captain Flores, and where's my other one, Reyes. And so we're off to a good start. I need your help to make this whole thing work so everyone is safer. Feel free to contact my office. Feel free to use your unit commanders. Make sure they're doing their job. Let me know if they're not. And we're gonna have a very good, productive relationship, a safe one. And I want to tell everyone to have a happy New Year, a safe New Year's, Year of the Pig, right? And anyway, thank you all.
I think I have a plaque on behalf of Rosemead Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank the chair and Tommy.